Hello, it's Polish Paul VR, welcome to my channel and let's do PSVR SUPERSHOW, my biggest show of the week, in which I'm talking everything PlayStation VR, the biggest stories from the last weeks, the next week releases, also past week's games, just everything. So, before I start, if you like what you're seeing, then please press a like, because it does help the channel a lot, and if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. As always, let's start from new games announcements, and only new game we've had announced, it was Swords REVEIRE. I never can say this name, I already accepting my failure, but the meaning and the message of this game, it is an upcoming RPG in virtual reality. The developers saying it's gonna have proper physical combat, so you can swing your swords around and punch your enemies, but also it's very muchly inspired by JRPG games, so if you are a fan of those, then you're gonna have a bit of that in this game. Also, the developers saying they created this vast expansive world with different, areas, so they all look like totally different to each other, because they said in VR, many games just get you in those small little hub areas. They wanted you to have a nice big world to explore. So this and Elysia both looks good. In this game you are a summoned hero, there's two kingdoms at war, somebody summoned you and said, listen, only the true hero can save the kingdom. That's what the myth and legend says. And this hero is you, you're not going on your own, you've got your friends with you as well, you're gonna meet other characters. Plenty of customization, of course you'll be gaining new abilities, so yes, sounds okay. But anyway, on to the next part of the show, which is next week releases. And first game we're gonna get our hands on and our heads in is Paper Beast, coming from the developer of Another World. In Paper Beast, whole world is a simulation, but everything is just done by the AI. Everything is procedurally generated, all the animations and everything what's happening, that's just not been animated by human, your PlayStation doing it, so very neat idea. In order to progress through the story, you're gonna be solving environmental puzzles, and that means that there's plenty of gameplay where you can interact with your surroundings and play with them, break them, make something, do something. Very, very interesting title. I already played it, but I cannot talk too much about it, but I'm gonna have my review ready when embargo is up. Okay, another release on 26th in Europe, we should get CYBERNETIC, coming from X-Real Games, the same studio that doing Zero Caliber. By the way, Zero Caliber coming in Q2, but this is gonna come in Europe on 26th. And they say not long after they should have US release date. It's gonna cost 19.99 euros/dollars. So I don't know, about 16 quid in UK, so not too bad at all, because story is about 4 or 5 hours long. When the game first released as early access, it was very short, but of course they've been building it as they've been developing it, and then when it reached full release with all updates, it's much bigger experience.
And now I'm stuck on an asteroid, locked in another guy's body, trying to unfuck myself. Hordes of enemies. Crazy security systems. Hostile environments. And the smartest asshole in the world trying to kill me. Well, it's not going to be easy, but at least I have some nice toys to play with. It's gonna be a hell of a ride.
And also on 26th of March, this time worldwide, not only in Europe, The Room Dark Matter finally gonna come out. So The Room was a series very well known and very well respected and very well reviewed on mobiles, but the developers decided that it's about time that they bring it to virtual reality. And that's how The Room Dark Matter was born. In this game you working in a British Museum of Archaeology in like early 1900s, and somebody get murdered, and you of course gonna go and see why, what's happened, who's done it, what's going on. You're gonna check out what shit gone down in this museum, you're gonna visit like very nice surreal locations, plenty of puzzles to do. All I heard about this game is always good, so it sounds like another good release. And also on 26th, Beat Saber will get Timbaland DLC. So this is gonna be 5 songs designed especially for Beat Saber. Timbaland said, yes, I'm gonna do it. Beat Saber people said, thanks, we really wanted to work with you. So yet another DLC for Beat Saber. I don't know how it's gonna sound because it's brand new songs. Let's hope it's gonna be good. But for all the fans of the game, more of songs for you can't be bad. Okay, next part of the show is the game that we've been playing this week, and sadly there was nothing new released on PlayStation VR when it comes to full games, but nevertheless there was some releases because we've had demo of Disaster Report for Summer Memories. I downloaded the demo, didn't have chance to play it yet because I was like at work all the time. But the demo got virtual reality experience inside it as well. When the game releases, you basically be progressing through the level, unlocking new areas, and once you unlock something, then it's gonna be for you to watch in VR, like kind of on rails experience, while the full game only playable flat. But if you want to check it out, what it's all about, then go and download the demo. And now this is gonna lead us to the next part of the show, which is the wrap-up, which basically is the biggest PlayStation VR news stories from the last week, stick together into one little neat package. And we're gonna start from the biggest story, of course. PlayStation 5 had a little presentation in which Mark Cerny, the designer of the console, been talking to us about the specs of it, and we know that it's gonna be pretty awesome. But biggest takeaway from it is that it's gonna have very nice streaming capabilities, something what is very important for virtual reality. I don't know how soon the developers be able to take advantage of it. I'm assuming biggest one probably doing now, the smaller one's gonna have to wait a bit. But also what they said, 3D audio, it should be good as well because it's much better than we've got now. Of course, backwards compatible as well. I do not know if it's gonna require to use this breakout box what we've got now, or will we just be plugging the PSVR straight to the PlayStation 5. No idea, but nevertheless very nice information. As we know, coming this holiday, I'm assuming slowly Sony gonna drip us some more information, and eventually they're gonna show us how the console gonna look like. And hopefully they're gonna show us some games, because I really want to see how the game's gonna look like, but the virtual reality ones. Anyway, next story. Dark Eclipse, the PlayStation first MOBA, the game that was free to play. On June 15th, the developers said sadly they're gonna have to shut down the servers. They tried, to me it was kind of experiment, very solid game, many people really liked it. But of course, MOBA games, not that in VR, not many people just plays them. That is the problem. The game was solid, but I don't think there was enough players to keep the money stream, to keep this free-to-play game going. I think they've had plenty of microtransactions at the beginning. They eventually stopped that, and now they're gonna shut down the servers. But I'm sure many of you had plenty of good times with this game, so big thank you to the developers. Didn't work out this time, maybe next time, who knows. But anyway, on to the next story, which is Walking Dead Onslaught. So I've been asked about this game many times. I had a chat with the developers other day, and basically what they said, the game is still coming, it's still in the development, their programmers, all their studio working hard on it. But just now, they just don't gonna give us release date just yet, they gonna wait a bit longer. My best guess is it's gonna come out after Saints and Sinners. As I spoke before, this is the totally different game to Saints and Sinners, because Saints and Sinners is this your single player story mode driven game. while the Onslaught is for you and your friends to play in co-op together and just go on a rampage and kill zombies, collect some resources and just have tons of fun. Survios always good when it comes to the arcade action in VR. Okay, and that's gonna lead us to yet another Walking Dead story, which was Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. So during this week we found out that the game sadly won't be coming out in March, but they still will be releasing it in spring. They say in Q1, early Q1, so hopefully in April. After the super awesome reviews this game had on PC, I cannot wait for it. I know we're gonna get few delays here and there now because of course studios working from home. Walking Dead developers said they working from home, but they still working on the game. And it's still gonna be this spring, just not in March, so we're gonna have to wait a bit longer, but I just got used to wait right now. A lot of delays. But never mind, Saints and Sinners looks great. Okay, and this leads me to another part of the show, which is GAMIVERSARY, when I'm talking about the games that released during this time, but in previous years. This week games, somehow I didn't have chance to even play them in past, and this week because I was busy with work. So usually I like to pre-record my footage from my gameplay. Some of it is, but some of them not. Some of them games I didn't touch at all. But we're gonna start from Leave the Nest, and this come out on 14th of March 2017. And what it is, it's basically Flappy Bird game in virtual reality. You've got like a 3 lanes when you tap in your bird and the bird flies and you try not to die and not to crash. I've kind of forgotten game now. It's come, it's went, it don't matter. It's, you know, I never played it. Graphically nothing special. I don't feel like specially attracted to this game as well. But if you like Flappy Bird, maybe you're gonna like this one, I don't know. On 21st of March 2017 we've had Ghost Booster Games. This had 2 episodes, but sadly the first one is as bad as the second one, developed by Sony's Picture. Sold at the price and super short. I can't remember now, about 20 minutes for each episode. It's, you know, Ghost Boosters definitely would be fun in VR, but in this package it's not delivering that much. It's kind of very simple game. It's, if you think people telling to you, oh, VR is just tech demos, it don't get tech demo-y more than this, so nothing really exciting. And on 20th of March 2018 we've had Audio Beats. Now this game is like a rhythmic game, but it's not a very good one. You've got like a drum in front of you, but the patterns of the songs, it's all quite random. You just like banging things and you've got not even that big of a soundtrack. And even graphically it doesn't look that nice, the music doesn't sound nice. I remember playing it and getting bored of it very fast. It don't have this addictive gameplay like Beat Saber got. The gameplay loop in this game is on the more boring side. On 20th of March 2018 we've had a Floor Plan. This is one of those games what I played but never reviewed. Sold at the very little price, but also a very fun experience. All the action of the game happening in the lifts. You even got your little boring generic lift music. But what you do, you're traveling through the floors, and different floors got few different puzzles to solve. They all like interconnected, so you know they affecting each other. For the small price that this game cost, I really had quite a bit fun with it. And on 21st of March 2018 we've had Lunar Stone Origin of Blood. Now, I never played it, but of course I watch YouTube, I read internet, and the reviews wasn't that great. This is kind of like a wave shooter. I think you've got some teleportation when you walk from the level to level, but eventually the game just puts you in the spot and you find your enemies, and I'm hearing that the move implementation wasn't that good as well. The melee combat kind of not working in it. Like I said, I never played it, so I cannot judge it too much, but from what I saw, other people playing it, they didn't like it, so it doesn't sound like a very good game. On 22nd of March 2018 we've had Ark Park. Now, if you're thinking about very overhyped and super disappointing game, you are in the right place. I definitely was looking forward to Ark Park just like many people. When it's released, it turned out to be a bit shitty game. Basically, you've got like different levels, tons of loading screens. The gameplay is just a grind fest, so eventually you're doing same thing over and over and over again. and it gets just super boring because it's so many times you can do those things. When the game first released, it had teleportation only, they added smooth locomotion and smooth rotation, but smooth locomotion for the wave shooting bits of the game was too slow, and same when it comes to the rotation. So you kind of forced to play just like you did before the update, which is teleportation and click turning. Like, some areas of the game graphically looks alright, but all in all, as a package, is quite a bad game, super disappointing, definitely way too expensive. Also, they released the update, which gave us this flying and bit of extra stuff, but they only released half of update what they released on PC, and they said that we're gonna release rest of it, don't worry, it's gonna happen. Sadly, it's never happened. The game seems to be abandoned by the developers now, and it's just a bad game. And on 13th of March 2019, we've had SLINGER. This is yet another of those games what I played and never reviewed. Sadly, with my 12-hour shift, sometimes I just running out of time. But this is a wave shooter as well. Thankfully, this one was kind of fun, what I remember. I think you've been collecting like extra bits, mods, like what can modify gameplay. Not very long, about hour long I think, but you know, shooting felt good, the graphics was good enough because it's a cheap game, kind of a Wild West game. It wasn't too bad. So yeah, it's alright for the price, definitely, you know, something what you can have like hour or two fun with. Okay, so that's it. Of course, big shout out to my patrons / producers of the show. I really appreciate all your support. I'm really grateful for it. Thank you very much. And of course, if you want to become patron, then just go to patron / PolishPolVR, and from just $1 you can support the channel. Also, the link is in the description. I know this episode is a bit shorter than past episodes. It's because I've been working all week 12-hour shift, so didn't have that much time to record, but hope you enjoyed it, hope you like it, and of course, I see you next time in my news videos. And that's it, bye.